How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to keep fans across the country in the action on the biggest game days of the year. Whether you're one of 65,000 fans at Allegiant Stadium or you're streaming the game at home with America's fastest download speeds powered by fiber. Whenever it matters most, Cox keeps you connected. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
When the whole family comes together to watch the game, nobody wants to miss a second of the action to run to the grocery store. With Instacart, you can get all your weekly groceries in as fast as an hour. Less time shopping means more game time. Let's go. Visit instacart.com to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.
Stand by for an urgent bulletin.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. But here's what I've learned about myself over the years. I have a high-functioning brain.
You seem to know all the players in this poorly acted farce. What do they call that one?
Jeff Lutz.
Goodness gracious, you're really struggling today. If I had said that, I'd be kicked off the show permanently.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
All right, welcome back. The Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Bob Lutz and Jeff Lutz. It's a Monday edition. We're going to do a little Bob and Jeff draft here momentarily, but man, I had some very disturbing dreams last night.
Really?
Yeah, I missed the start of radio. I was late getting started.
Well, that one.
I don't know where you were.
That big of a deal.
I don't know where you were.
No offense.
Maybe you were doing it, but the city was in an uproar.
I'm sure.
No, seriously. And the phone was ringing off the hook at KFH.
How would you know that?
Because it was in my dream. And it happened, and I didn't show up until 2:28. I remember the time.
It's crazy.
2:28.
We were rolling right along without you.
And I don't think so.
Well, what happened?
I think I don't have a clear recollection of that from my dream, but I just know that people were, man, what's going on? Where's Bob? It must have to do with me not being on the show Thursday or Friday.
Most likely, yeah.
Understanding the desperation
the absolute
that must have caused.
Just no real change, no effect.
Really?
Not really.
Well, that's too bad. I got a feeling you missed me.
Well, you were missed, but the show did fine.
So here we go. Fruits and vegetables, the category. I'm looking at a website called knowyourproduce.com. So I'm gonna go ahead and say these are all fruits and vegetables. It will not be up for debate. If your fruit or vegetable is not listed here, it's disqualified.
Well, I'm gonna probably protest that at some point on some level.
Well, I don't care. You can.
How about if it's not on my list of fruit and vegetables I wrote down? Then it doesn't count.
No.
And I only wrote down like 18.
I'm not writing down that many. Well, that's an interesting one.
You need to pick at least 8, and we need to get this going.
No, we got time. I like talking.
Well, you got talk.
Let me handle the show.
But
let me handle the time frame of the show.
I don't want to.
Max will tell you that nobody manages the time of the show.
The time has been off today.
Better than me.
And we got a 2:45 interview start at 2:42. Top of the hour started at 2:58. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
That's a good one. I'm finishing my list.
No, you're cheating, I think. I think you're taking too much time. And
I don't feel like I am.
I got mine done during the break.
All right, flip the coin. Let's go.
Well, what do you call?
I'm going to call heads, as I always do. It is heads.
All right.
I will let you pick first.
All right. Then I will take... What do you take first in a fruit and vegetable?
You take the fruit you like.
Well, it might be a vegetable I like. I will take potatoes, which is a fantastic pick. Probably.
I will take French fries.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
I just took potatoes.
Well, French fries aren't potatoes. They're fried potatoes.
You don't get no. You absolutely do not get French fries.
All
I
right.
get potatoes and whatever you use them for.
I will take strawberries and apples.
You don't eat apples.
And that's your ball game.
Yeah, because you tried to take literally my first pick with your first pick, which was awful. But yeah, those were good picks. And where do you even go from? Like, what would even differentiate?
Well, you got all
A
kinds of
fruit
you got
from-
all kinds of options.
Yeah, you have options, but I don't know. I'm going to take green beans.
A lot of people don't like green beans.
Well, a lot of people are dumb. And I will also take the banana.
All right. I will take corn.
A lot of people don't like corn.
No, actually, a lot of people do. I will take
For what?
corn and peaches.
Peaches?
I love peaches.
Didn't even write peaches down, to be
Of course I
honest
did.
with you. I didn't.
Strawberries, apples, corn, and peaches. My God. I'm so hungry right now. And I look at your list, potatoes, green beans, and bananas.
Pretty
There's
good.
no way I'd put that together.
Well, you're not supposed to. This isn't a meal we're making. I'm
Go.
not giving you a recipe.
Oh, there's a good one.
You know, I have to pick a lot of things that maybe people don't like, but I love onions, so I'm taking them.
You just lost.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure I did. And I'm also taking something else that a lot of people don't like. But if you've ever had salsa or ketchup, get over yourself. Tomatoes.
You are in big trouble.
Why do
my
you say
friend.
that?
I'm taking grapes.
Grapes.
Well, I love grapes.
This is boring. Your list is boring.
No, I love grapes.
There's no imagination.
I'm taking grapes and oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to take grapes and pumpkin.
Pumpkin? That's not a vegetable.
Max, this might be your easiest.
Pumpkin. Who eats pumpkin? Pumpkin pie. Yeah. Let me
Pumpkin bread.
let me just
pumpkin
douse it
muffins?
in 4
Pumpkin's
gallons
an
of whipped cream.
unbelievable flavor.
I'm going to take carrots. And to continue our run on orange things, oranges.
Well, oranges should have been picked higher.
Well, it wasn't, and I got them late for pretty good value. You get two to
I've got-
wrap it up.
I've got two more. And one of those is going to be blueberry. And my final pick, because we have it in everything, and I don't know how popular it is, but we couldn't live without it. We got to have it for our salads, for our sandwiches. It's everywhere.
Lettuce?
Lettuce.
I've never had lettuce in my life. I'll go to close it out. Man, I love peas, but I don't think that's going to win anybody over. So I'll take watermelons.
Well, not a bad choice. Getting that at number 8, but the list. Oh my! I could not have come up with
Your
a better
list I wouldn't even touch.
I
most
could
of.
not have come up with a better
I'm
list.
not going to eat peaches. Not going to eat pumpkin, blueberries, and muffins, maybe. And lettuce, nah.
Here is my list, Max. Now I want you to sit down and listen. Strawberries, apples, corn, peaches, grapes, pumpkin, blueberries, and lettuce.
Lettuce.
I'd eat that
This
if you
guy
put
said lettuce.
if you put a bowl of all of that in front of me right now. I'd have it gone in 5 minutes.
You take out 5 of the things and probably leave maybe some apples.
Jeff's list is potato.
I'll say my list. Max, Bob, everyone. Potatoes, green beans, bananas, onions, tomatoes, carrots, oranges, and watermelon. This is kind of elementary. It's a formality, Max.
Max, I feel like you've got an easy choice here. I don't want you to overthink it.
It is. It's the easiest one ever.
Which list are you going with?
I'm going with Bob's. He has grapes, strawberries, apples, blueberries.
I just picked the best list, maybe.
I've got French fries and tater tots and hash browns.
That's true.
Yeah, you got one
You have
good one.
potato and watermelon and bananas, but he has more.
You don't like green beans?
Nobody's going to want
Chinese
onions,
green beans,
tomatoes,
maybe.
carrots. Sounds like a bad.
Why would anyone not want onions or carrots?
He has more fun
Why do you have
stuff
to argue
eat, though,
with
Jeff.
Max?
He has more.
Have you ever had
grapes,
roasted
strawberries.
carrots? There's nothing better.
Not big on carrots. He has more fun
There
stuff
you
to
go.
eat. Everybody likes grapes and strawberries and apples and blueberries.
They're obligations.
Corn on the cob. And
They're
No,
not
they're
fun.
not. I
Apples.
love strawberries.
Like I have to eat fruit, so I'll go get an apple. I mean, that's easy.
What's not easy on yours?
You know what? It's not easy to go eat onions.
And I
Right,
respect
and
you for the time you
oranges.
took that big bite of that onion, Jeff. I still wince every time I think of it.
Well, I had to do it,
You did.
and I'm a man for it.
All right, Max. Thank you. Clear cut, according to
Well,
our
that's
producer.
a guy who
Max
doesn't even
Powell.
like green beans.
We'll get this on Twitter. I'm on a roll on this draft. I'm just killing it right now, and I feel good about.
What would
that.
you have taken if I had taken apple first?
Well, I would have taken strawberries and potatoes.
All right.
What do you mean, all right?
Just wondering.
I mean, potatoes a good pick, but after that, when you go from potato and your second pick's green beans, you've had a.
Who
listen,
doesn't-
I like green
Why
beans.
would anyone? Man, I love green beans.
No, I like green beans as long as they're seasoned well. They're great.
Well, everything needs to
you
be
just
seasoned.
pour them out of a can and eat them, you're going to gag.
Well, that's true for everything.
You pour a strawberry out of a can, it's going to be the best
You
strawberry
load it
ever
up
had.
with sugar. I mean, that's all fruit is.
You pour a peach out of a can. Oh, have
Nobody
you ever had a peach?
Nobody gets cherries. Peaches are
Oh, I should have said cherries.
peaches are fine.
Wait, is cherry listed on this list?
Well, it is because it's a fruit.
It is not. Strange.
No one said asparagus.
Don't care for asparagus.
No one said garlic.
Here's Shannon, who's been holding. Hello, Shannon.
Hey, I don't know what I just got on. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're doing some kind of draft for food.
We're doing a Bob
but,
and Jeff draft
Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm
on
sorry.
fruits and veg. Well, then educate
Yeah.
yourself. Do some research.
Well, I know what fruits
do you
and
have?
vegetables are. Well, anyway, did Jeff talk about our dinner date we had? Yeah.
He has not mentioned that.
I was going to let you do that, Shannon.
Okay. Well, we went out and had a sandwich. We had a couple sandwiches out at Metro Bistro in Andover, and I told him the best Cuban in the Midwest, not Wichita, Midwest, is at Metro Bistro. And Jeff, what'd you think about it?
I hope he got the Cuban. He hasn't mentioned a thing about it, which leads me to think he wasn't that impressed.
Here's what I'll say about the Cuban at Metro Bistro. I have to preface this by saying traditionally it is not a Cuban sandwich. They crush up chips. They got other stuff on it that isn't on a Cubano, as I like to think of it. However, it was amazing. It was so good.
Really?
And I got one to
yeah.
go, and that was the sandwich I was
Oh,
getting.
you left the ceremony
Yeah.
so that you could go eat a sandwich.
I had to get my sandwich. I couldn't wait till Sunday when I was back at Channel 12. I had to have it Saturday. I was not going to wait an additional 24 hours. That's how good that
That
There you
sandwich
go,
was.
Shannon.
That sandwich is so good. It's a Cuban, but they crunch up some potato chips and put some garlic aioli on it. I'm telling you, one of the best sandwiches, definitely in Wichita. I'm glad he liked it. He liked it so much he got another one. And we also had the burger there. The burger, it was pretty good too. A little different, but it's good. So
Well, I'm gonna go out there and try that. What's a Cuban made of, Jeff?
Pork and ham and pickles and mustard.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a shot.
It's so good.
So good.
You going to go back out there?
I have to now.
Well, that's a long way from where you live.
Everything's a long way from where I live.
Trust me
Shannon,
when
we
I talk to
enjoy
you guys about-
watching you and your restaurant escapades.
Hey, Shannon,
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
ask you a question. And I do not have any previous – I don't know the answer to this question like you knew the answer to your question. What did you think of the company on Friday night?
Oh, well, Jeff and I are a lot alike. We're both kind of like you're on the radio and everyone hears you and things like that, and I'm in a band and people hear me, but I think we'd rather spend time at home with our wives and just chill out and not be in public, and we're quieter than everyone thinks we are. That's what I get out of it.
Well, you didn't answer the question. And who
Well, I thought
who were the people?
We had great company. It was great company. We had a good time. We talked about sports and just life stuff. Some of the stuff I'm not going to bring up.
What did you think of the company?
I'd totally hang with Shannon again. I enjoyed it.
Well, this is now becoming a little hard to listen to. Shannon, thank you.
He's a good guy.
Thank you. So are you.
Good grief.
It is kind of beautiful, isn't it?
Sickening. We hope to hear from you soon, Shannon. Thank you. There went Shannon, I think. I don't know. So you enjoyed Shannon.
Yeah. And I want people to know that the burger was a little adventurous for me. It wasn't just like a normal burger. It had words like reduction in it, and it had green stuff on it, and it had like.
Did you like it?
Different kind of cheese. It was amazing. It was also great. Yes.
Well, good. What do you mean the word reduction?
There was some kind of reduction, like garlic. I don't even know what the word was.
Garlic reduction?
No, it wasn't garlic, but it was something. And I don't know what that is. So I'm like, is this?
So it had reduction.
Yeah, the word reduction was in the.
But is there something called reduction?
Well, I don't know what reduction is.
Hamburger?
I don't know what reduction is when it comes to food.
Well, we know what the word means. So what is it? How does it apply to a hamburger?
I don't know.
Well, I've never heard of
the answer to that.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Let me see if I can. No, this is an older menu.
Well,
here we go. It is seared seasoned burger meat with grilled portobello mushrooms, arugula aioli over melted fontina cheese, and red onion, topped with balsamic reduction sauce on toasted Cuban bread.
What is balsamic reduction?
That's what I don't know. I don't know. It's like this seems too fancy for me.
Well, I can't do the portobello mushroom.
Why?
Don't like them.
I didn't even notice they were there.
The texture of mushrooms is the most grotesque thing I've ever. I just can't even. I can't even imagine.
I enjoy mushrooms. You got to cook them.
Ugh, worst cooked. I can handle the texture of a raw mushroom. Cooked? Oh, squishy. Kind of a.
You're not gonna eat raw mushrooms, are you?
Kind of a buggish look to them.
I like mushrooms, so I can't go there with you. Now I need to figure out what balsamic.
Why didn't you pick mushrooms for one of your vegetables?
I almost did. It was on my list, but I felt my list going south, so I tried to get some more popular foods in there. A balsamic reduction is just balsamic vinegar in a pan, then simmered until some of it evaporates.
Well, there you go.
Why?
I've come across a nice raspberry vinaigrette
reduction.
No, dressing that I love on my salad.
Where'd you come across that
Well,
at?
I found it.
Is that a Leakers thing?
No, that's not a Leakers thing.
Yeah, it is.
No.
What is it?
You know what the special is at Leakers today, though?
Is it meatloaf Monday?
Lasagna and Salisbury steak. I'm headed out.
I've got a little pork and cheese casserole I'm making at
You know
home.
one thing we loved about Saturday and you coming over to watch the Royal Rumble?
What's that?
You brought the food, and announce to everybody how much you'd spent.
Yeah.
Is that do you do that?
Are you providing context to my?
You brought the food.
Yeah.
And made an announcement.
$77.
And yeah,
I'll announce it again. You think I
offered
care?
to bring the food and made an announcement of how much it cost, which I thought was one of the most low-class things I've ever heard.
Why?
I just couldn't believe it.
It's not like we asked you to help. Just wanted you to know that, hey.
Why? Why did you want us to know?
This is a grand gesture.
Well, I could tell people how much the check was I wrote to you, but I'm not going to.
It wasn't quite 77. I'll tell.
So why'd you do that?
Do what? I did it because I said I owe you a League 42 donation, but I just spent $77 on the food, so you might need to wait a day or two. And I did. I also donated to League 42.
And now you're making that public.
$50.
You talk about every penny you spend?
I should, shouldn't I?
Well, you wouldn't be talking much. You're the tightest.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right, we need a break. I don't know what that segment produced, but the next one will produce because we're going to talk to Wichita State guard Xavier Bell. Shockers with a nice comeback win over SMU yesterday at Koch Arena. SMU has won one game out of 12 against the Shockers. They're moving on to the
8
ACC.
in a row.
And Wichita State won't have to deal with them again.
That's
no
too
return
bad.
trip to Dallas. We'll be back.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to keep fans across the country in the action on the biggest game days of the year. Whether you're one of 65,000 fans at Allegiant Stadium or you're streaming the game at home with America's fastest download speeds powered by fiber. Whenever it matters most, Cox keeps you connected. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Your fever is high and the pressure to log in at work is too. But when you finally decide to take care of you, there's Instacart. Just because that one perfect coworker of yours is attending all meetings, camera on while she's sneezing, coughing, and aching, doesn't mean you have to do the same. Take it from us. Trying to stay on top of things will only get you further behind. Instead, get everything from tissues and teas to cough suppressants and comforting soups delivered through Instacart in as fast as 30 minutes. If anyone needs anything, they can just redirect their questions to that one perfect coworker of yours.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Xavier Bell joins us, Wichita State guard. Shockers, as I said. A nice comeback win yesterday over SMU at Koch Arena. Before we talk basketball, Xavier, I'm always interested in the generation gap. Have you ever heard of Bad Company?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I kind of thought that would be the answer, but I was going to be really impressed if you had. So coming off a game yesterday where you guys get a much-needed win, how much was that win needed?
Definitely. You know, I think not only for our team, but just for the Shocker Nation as a whole. You know, we've been in a little bit of a slump, but I think, you know, just with the hard work that we've been putting in and day out, you know, we were due for one soon. So I'm just glad we were able to pull that one out yesterday.
Well, what had it been like, you know, the previous 8 games? I know you were so close in a lot of those games. You probably just got better from the competition you faced. So how close did you feel like you were going into yesterday's game?
You know, we felt like we were really close. The last 8 games have definitely been tough. You know, they haven't been any blowouts or anything. They've all been close losses, but like you said, we were able to learn from each and every one of those losses and, you know, able to get better and just put together a good team win yesterday. So
talking with Xavier Bell from Shocker Basketball. So this is, as I've long said, this is our city's major league team, Wichita State basketball. People ride their highs and their lows from what this team accomplishes or doesn't accomplish. So take us behind the scenes. How's Paul Mills? How did Paul Mills handle that slump that we talked about? Because it'd been a while since the Shockers won a game. What were you impressed about in his coaching during that time?
Definitely. Really just how committed and, sane he really was in the midst of, all the chaos going around as far as all these critics, a bunch of tweets going out, around and about us. Really just to see him come in each and every day and be the same, coach and person that he is and bring that energy, the right positive energy that the team needed at the time. Just to see that, it was super inspirational, not only for myself, but really just for the whole locker room, just to know that we have a coach who does believe in us and who is going to ride with us, no matter what, and either way it goes, we were going to pull ourselves out or dig ourselves deeper. And either way we were going to do it together. And just knowing that he was with us 100%, I think it just helped every single player, just continue to stick with each other through it all.
So the struggles kind of started when Cortez and DeGray became eligible, certainly not blaming them, but just pointing out the timing. Certainly it's coincidental. But at that time, there had to be some adjustments made. Guys got some minutes taken. You started maybe playing off the ball a little bit more, although you had a bunch of minutes yesterday at point guard. So what were those adjustments like to make as a team and then for you individually?
Definitely. Obviously, just implementing them back into, our day in and day out routine as far as running through plays, meshing those guys together. We were able to play with Ronnie DeGray a little bit out in Greece, but that was a little bit ago. So just having him around more and just seeing the energy that he brought day in and day out was super beneficial for us. And Bijan as well, he's a great passer, a really good point guard for us, and I think he does a really good job facilitating at times. So really just being able to adjust on the fly, it was all new and all chaotic, especially around the Christmas time with the NCAA going on trial and making the decisions that they made so quickly. But really just being able to adapt with it all and just, trying just to keep moving forward and just keep putting together, what it takes for us to build a win. And myself, obviously, going from starting to not starting, it didn't affect me too much, especially being a part of the team last year and not necessarily being a starter back then. But just looking at it as a perspective and, just still trying to find ways to be a positive energy and to have a positive impact for my team, whenever my number is called. So
talking with Xavier Bell, Wichita State junior out of Andover Central High School. Wanted to ask you about Harlan Beverly because he's really started to come along here. He's playing a very good basketball at 6'5". He's really capable of getting the ball to the rim. How much has his play improved, and how much are you guys planning to maybe ride him a little bit down the stretch?
Definitely. He's a great player, and he can finish around the rim. His hand-eye coordination is something like we haven't seen before. He's able to jump out the gym, and you wouldn't even know it. But just to see him and see his progression along just this whole season and just what he can bring to the team and just the energy that everybody feeds off of him has been super beneficial for us. And I think, moving forward, he'll definitely be a key role for us in our successes to come.
Do you notice anything that some of the Power 5 guys who've transferred in have in common? Beverly's one, Quincy Ballard, DeGray and Cortez both played in the Power 5. Is there something that those guys have in common, talent-wise, personality-wise, just anything that kind of ties that together, just, coming to play at Wichita State?
Really just the energy they bring on and off the court, just bringing great attitudes, creating great atmospheres, for guys around them to want to come in and continue to get better and love the game of basketball. They all love it. They all put in time outside of practice and whenever we're needed to be in the gym. So just seeing that and just seeing, the work ethic and how hard they practice day in and day out. It not only inspires myself, but, for the younger players as well, just to show them, you can be a Power 5 player and still produce at any level that you're at. So just seeing that and then just seeing the impact that they have on others around is super beneficial for us right now is what I would say.
Xavier Bell, our guest. You haven't played everybody in the American yet. You've still got some games left against teams you haven't played, like Charlotte, like Tulane, like UTSA, and UAB. What's your impression of this conference? Here we are in late January, and you've got 3 teams up there at the top with only 1 loss. We would have expected Florida Atlantic. I'm not sure we would have expected Charlotte or South Florida.
Definitely. I think it just speaks, volume to this whole conference. Anybody's beatable on any given night. It takes a whole team to win a game, and it's always going to come down to the wire. You're not going to have any blowouts. Not going to have any, miscues, and teams are going to make you pay whenever you do make mistakes on the offense or defensive end. So really just how intact and really attention to detail oriented that you have to be in order to pull out a team win in this league for sure.
So I have to imagine that the win yesterday, kind of was obviously a relief, but it probably gave you a lot of confidence too, because SMU is one of the best teams in this conference. I think they were in the 30s in KenPom, so highly thought of. Do you think that could lead to a greater high than the lows were low? Does that make sense?
Definitely. SMU is a great team, and they are pretty ranked highly, like you just mentioned. But I think it just speaks volume to, our program and the group of guys that we have. Definitely we didn't want to start out the conference play 0-6, but at the end of the day, it's not really how you start. It's about how you finish. And so being able to come out there yesterday and get that team win, especially against a tough team like that, I think it just shows, we are putting in the work, we are putting in the effort, and we're capable. So just knowing that and just knowing, these next couple games ahead and really just all these games ahead as far as in regular season conference play, we have a chance if we just stick together, play good team basketball for all 40 minutes. We can run with anybody in this league, I feel like. And so just knowing that, I think, yes, it does give us a certain level of confidence as well. But at the same time, we just got to, just keep stacking days and keep building on this for sure.
Shockers embarking on a road trip at Tulsa Wednesday night, at Memphis on Sunday, a noon game on CBS. Have you ever seen a team get hot like Memphis did in the second half in their game here? You guys probably thought you were going to come out in that second half and beat those guys, and then they just started shooting the absolute lights out.
Definitely. Yeah, that's one I have never seen a team shoot that well before. And credit to those guys, for making shots, because not all of them were wide open. They were all kind of contested or somewhat tried to alter, or somebody tried to alter the shots. But credit to them for, putting in the time in the gym and just being able to make those shots in those moments. And it was definitely tough in the moment for sure, though.
And they're 0-3 since that. So crazy game of basketball. Xavier, thank you so much. Good luck on the road trip, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks.
All right, yeah, Memphis coming off a loss at UAB. Now, like I said, 0-3 with losses to South Florida and then road defeats to Tulane and UAB. So their NCAA tournament hopes are falling by the wayside.
I'm interested still to see how many bids this conference will get in bracketology. I noticed when I didn't pick it up at the time, but I looked later. I think it had Charlotte in because they would be the automatic qualifier as of now because they lead the conference,
right,
or whenever that was. But once Charlotte is not in the lead in the conference, they'll be out of bracketology. So
North Texas has taken a hit of late. Memphis certainly has taken a hit. Right now, the only team you feel real confident is Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, and who knows from game to game. They seem to be finding some consistency.
The latest Lunardi bracketology has 3 teams in from the American, but that was 3 days ago.
Yeah, one of those I believe is Charlotte.
Well, I don't care what you believe. Is it or is it not?
Well, type in Control-F Charlotte and find out.
I'd rather look. This is how I stay sharp.
I think they were a 12
Charlotte,
seed.
a 13 seed, facing Baylor, and then Memphis still in as a 7 seed, but falling fast. They can't lose this many more games, can they?
I don't think so.
Where are they in Ken Pom?
They're not a team that the metrics favor either, because I think they're in the 70s in Ken Pom. Don't quote me on that, but they are not high relative to what you think their talent level would be in some of their wins.
What I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to do is give you the exact spot where they are.
Okay.
Right now, Memphis, man, have they fallen? I guess I will do a search.
That probably.
But people hate that.
They do. They hate efficiency, and people try, but I could find it even before you do a search.
I don't think I can get the search done. I will say this. Memphis is 61.
Yes.
That's not in the 70s, which is where I started looking because I trusted you.
Well, they have been in
and
the
I
70s.
keep getting disappointed.
They're low, okay? I look at Ken Pom a lot. I don't memorize it, though.
They were in the 40s before this bad stretch.
Can I give you an interesting tidbit that you probably won't find interesting?
Wichita State 151, by the way. Go ahead.
There is no team in college basketball with exactly one win. There's 0 through 19, except for one.
Well, I don't know how interesting that
There's
is.
2 teams that have 0 wins. And then
Who are they?
Those teams are Mississippi Valley State and Detroit Mercy.
Poor Detroit Mercy.
Remember when Detroit was somewhat representative?
They used to be good.
Yeah.
Several years ago, back in the day, they had like a really good player. But I can't remember who it was, nor am I going to really.
Well, Ray McCollum not too long ago.
That might have been
one.
Ray. It might have been Ray McCollum.
Yeah, not too long ago was there.
Son of David McCallum, former.
I don't think so, and I don't think he's related to C.J.
formerly of
McCollum
I
either.
Spy.
Yes.
See, that's just brilliant.
No one knows that reference.
Max does, and really, that's all that matters.
You're playing the Ted Woodward and maybe to Max a little.
Were you surprised that Xavier Bell hadn't heard of Bad Company?
Not in the slightest. No, I doubt that would ever have crossed paths with him.
I'd like people to learn, just be aware of things that happened previously. I think our young people get so caught up in their lives. I mean, I was aware when I was a young.
Well, I knew who Bad Company was.
Well, no, I'm talking about I knew who, Benny Goodman.
Greta Garbo.
Well, yeah, I knew who Greta Garbo was.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Because my parents talked about those things.
Well, you were born in the Warren G. Harding administration, so I would hope.
Nice post on Facebook. Kind of making light of myself. Did you see it?
No.
Well, I'll read it for the listeners. Now they'll want to hear it. Don't you think?
I guess.
So the post was this. Now I got to find it. The post, good grief. Here's the post.
Finally.
Kansas became a state on this day in 1861. It didn't register with you?
I guess
Wasn't
not.
memorable? I remember because I had the best lasagna that day.
Were they making lasagna then?
See, that's what the humor is.
It is?
Happy birthday, Kansas. Oh, well. That's my attempt at humor.
You tried.
I think it's pretty funny.
People did not like my Facebook and post and tweet from Channel 12 yesterday.
What was it?
When I did the whole Princess Bride thing. My name is Patrick Levon Mahomes III, which is Patrick Mahomes' son. You roughed my father. Prepare to lose.
Don't get it.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Nobody liked that.
Prepare to die.
What'd they do? Make fun of it?
Oh, this is dumb. Stop these posts. This is stupid.
Well,
some people liked it.
I got to agree with them. The Wichita Police Department is providing an update to the public on the ongoing investigation into the theft of League 42's Jackie Robinson statue. Detectives are continuing this process. They have, with the assistance of the field community response teams, they've been able to identify the truck that was used in this theft.
And they got the truck, right?
Yeah, they have the truck. They've recovered the truck. And so we hope and believe that they're closing in. And I would not want to be these people who are the object of the scorn of this community, the national baseball community, people who believe in integrity, would not want to be these people. And you deserve everything you get. Man, I'm getting fired up now.
Well, it makes me angry. But what are you going to do?
You deserve every single thing you get for being the dumbest people you can possibly imagine. To come up with a plan to cut down and steal the Jackie Robinson statue from McAdams Park is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And if I could get one wish granted, I'd like to stand in front of these people someday and say, you idiots.
Well, maybe you will get that chance. I assume that there would be some kind of criminal proceedings.
I don't know. I mean, it's just beyond me. And everything that this has caused in our community, all the tumult, and it's just been, and you know, I've been looking for a book to write. Not really, but if there was a book to write, it would be on this, because last Thursday afternoon, I walked out of our building at noontime. This is 12 hours, 11 hours after the statue had been taken, and nobody had noticed. There had been no notification, which is strange, right?
Sure.
11 hours later, I look over and I don't see the statue, which is across the street from our building, and I look over there every day when I leave, just to feel good, have a moment of, yeah, that's cool. I love looking at that statue. And couldn't see it. And it was an overcast, cloudy, kind of drizzly day. So I'm thinking maybe I'm not seeing it because of that. So I literally squinted my eyes and then blinked them quickly to make sure they were working.
Right.
Then I called our administrative assistant, Jacqueline, out and said, Jacqueline, I don't see our statue. Do you? And she looked. And she didn't see it either. And that's how it was discovered that the statue was missing. Wichita police were already at our building looking through our video for a murder that had been committed nearby. And so we called the police on this one, and they responded very quickly. And they obviously are doing a yeoman's work in this investigation. Again, they've recovered the truck that was used, and that obviously is a huge step. And I'm sure there will be more news as we go through this process.
Looking forward to it.
But that's a big one. That's a nice one. It feels good. So there you go. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm completely lost for words right now.
Well,
this has been
great news, and news that we've been hoping for several days. I know I was out at Channel 12, and there were a couple false alarms on Friday, which was unfortunate, but now it looks like there's some kind of progress.
Here's the big fella, Anthony. Big fella. What do you have, Anthony?
Well, I hope they catch that bum, too. I'm going to be nice. I just call him a bum. I'm not going to act like Charles Barkley, because when I heard about that, I was like, who in the heck, and you can translate that, would do something as asinine and stupid as that? And what's the reasoning behind it? But we'll talk about that some other time. I just hope y'all get y'all's property back, because I want to commend you, Mr. Lutz. I know we're probably supposed to be talking sports talk and Kansas City Chiefs and Shockers, but I want to commend you for what you're doing in the community with League 42 and the cast of people that work along with you. I know you put your post on Facebook, but I want people to hear this verbally. I want to say thank you for being an impact in the Northeast community, you along with the people that work with you, because without y'all, that community wouldn't be what it is. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I appreciate it, and it's good to hear from you, and we'll get you here on the show soon, okay?
I look forward to it. That was one of the best moments of my life, so I look forward to it. Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna let you go because I know time is getting close. I know you follow basketball, high school as well too. Do you have a prediction for the big game in Mays this Friday? It's Mays South against Mays Eagles.
Well, I got to go with Mays South. The Mays Eagles are playing better, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can hang with the Mavericks.
No.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Joe Jackson, Coach Joe Jackson. I better put that respect on that, Coach Joe Jackson. I'm amped up. I'm actually going to try to make it to the game my own self. I haven't been to a high school game in a long time, and I think this will be that time that'll get me back in there and then get to meet Coach Jackson in person. So I'm looking forward to actually getting out to a high school game and covering high school sports the best way I can possibly. So I just wanted to say those few words of encouragement to you. Hope you get your stuff back. Keep doing what you're doing and keep rocking it out. And you have a blessed evening and enjoy the show. I'm out.
Thanks, Anthony. We appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Max. Thanks to everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to keep fans across the country in the action on the biggest game days of the year. Whether you're one of 65,000 fans at Allegiant Stadium or you're streaming the game at home with America's fastest download speeds powered by fiber. Whenever it matters most, Cox keeps you connected. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.